Think about last weekend for a second. Friday night rolls around, you're tired, you don't feel like cooking, so food shows up at the door. Saturday, a quick coffee turns into a coffee plus a pastry plus a little wander through the shops. Sunday, there's a sale or a craving or an app reminding you that you deserve a treat. And by Monday, you look at your bank balance and think, wait, where did all of that go? If that sounds familiar, you are completely normal. As of 2025, research from Capital One Shopping estimated the average American spent around $254 a month on impulse buys alone, money on things they never actually planned to buy. And a big share of that quiet spending happens on the weekend, when we're relaxed, bored, social, and our guard is down. Welcome back to MoneyWise Academy, where we turn confusing money topics into simple, practical lessons you can actually use. Today we're talking about something simple, free, and surprisingly powerful: the no-spend weekend. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what a no-spend weekend is, how to set one up so it doesn't feel like punishment, a realistic example of how much you could keep, the mistakes that trip people up, and a step-by-step plan you can use this very weekend. No budgeting spreadsheet required, and no shame about however you've spent money before. Okay, so let's start with the basics. In simple words, a no-spend weekend is exactly what it sounds like. 2 days where you choose not to spend any money on non-essential, optional stuff. Think of it like a little reset for your wallet. You still pay your bills, your rent, your medicine, anything urgent or already scheduled. That doesn't stop. What you pause is the extra discretionary spending, the takeout, the impulse online order, the just browsing trip that turns into a $50 receipt. It's the spending version of a rest day. You're not starving your finances, you're giving them a short, gentle break. Now, why does this matter so much in real life? Here's the thing. Most of us don't blow our budgets on one giant purchase. We leak money in tiny drips. A snack here, a subscription there, a treat yourself moment that felt small in the second. Those drips add up fast, and weekends are where the tap runs hardest. A no-spend weekend matters because it does two jobs at once. First, it directly keeps cash in your account. Second, and honestly more important, it shows you your own patterns. When you can't spend, you suddenly notice every single moment you would have. That awareness is worth more than the money itself because it sticks around long after the weekend ends. So, how do you actually do one? Let's break it into clear steps. Step 1. Pick your weekend and write it down. Choose one specific weekend. Ideally, a fairly normal one, not a friend's wedding, not a holiday. Putting it on the calendar turns a vague, I should spend less, into a real plan with a start and a finish. Step 2. Decide your rules before it starts. This is the part many people skip, and it's the most important. Get clear on what counts as essential versus optional for these 2 days. Gas to get to work? Essential. A prescription you actually need? Essential. A spontaneous $5 latte? That's the optional stuff you're pausing. Write your own simple list so you're not negotiating with yourself at the moment of temptation, because in the moment, temptation usually wins. Step 3. Prepare ahead on Friday. A no-spend weekend lives or dies on Thursday and Friday. Look at your fridge and plan 2 days of meals from what you already have. Charge up your devices, fill the gas tank if you truly need to, and handle any real errand before the weekend starts. If you walk in prepared, you remove most of the reasons you'd reach for your wallet. Step 4. Plan free fun. This is the secret that makes it enjoyable instead of miserable. A no-spend weekend is not a sit-in-the-dark weekend. Make a short list of things you genuinely like that cost nothing. A long walk, a park, a library visit, a movie night with what you already own, calling a friend, a home workout, cooking something new from pantry stuff, a free local event. When boredom hits, and it will, you want a ready answer that isn't, let's go grab something. Step 5. Remove the easy temptations. For 2 days, log out of the shopping apps, take your saved card off your favorite sites, and maybe mute the emails that scream sale. You're not relying on willpower alone. You're making the slip a little harder, which is how habits actually change. And one bonus step if you live with other people, tell them. A no-spend weekend is a lot easier when your partner, your roommate, or your kids are in on it, instead of one person quietly saying no while everyone else orders pizza. You can even make it a small challenge together and turn it into a free game night and leftovers kind of weekend. Money habits are usually a household thing, not a solo thing. So getting everyone on the same page takes the pressure off you alone. Let's put real numbers on this so you can see it. Picture a pretty ordinary weekend. Friday night takeout for 2, about $30. Saturday coffee and a pastry, $10. A little Saturday shopping trip, $40. Sunday brunch out, $25. A couple of small app orders, another $15. Add that up, 30 plus 10 plus 40 plus 25 plus 15, and you're at $120. Gone, in a weekend that didn't even feel expensive. Now, do one no-spend weekend a month, and that's roughly $120 kept. Over a year, that's around $1,400. Real money that could become an emergency fund, a dent in a debt, or simply some breathing room. And to be clear, your number might be smaller or bigger. The point isn't the exact figure. It's seeing how much quietly slips out and proving to yourself you can stop the leak whenever you choose. Now here's where a lot of people get this wrong. Mistake number 1. Going in with zero plan, getting bored by Saturday afternoon, and caving. The fix is the free fun list from earlier. Mistake number 2. Treating it like an all-or-nothing test. So the moment you spend $2, you decide you failed and blow the whole weekend. That's not how this works. If you slip, you just continue. One small purchase isn't a failure. It's information. Mistake number 3, the rebound. People power through 2 no-spend days and then spend double on Monday to make up for it. If that happens, the weekend didn't really save anything. The goal isn't to deprive yourself and bounce back. It's to gently reset the habit. And mistake number 4, making the rules so strict they're impossible. If you need medicine or your car runs out of gas, buy it. This is a tool, not a punishment. So let's turn this into a simple plan you can run this week. Today or tomorrow, pick your weekend and put it on the calendar. Before Friday, write your short list of what's essential versus optional. Plan your meals from what you already have, and jot down 3 or 4 free things you'd actually enjoy. On Friday evening, log out of 1 or 2 shopping apps. Then just live your normal weekend, minus the optional spending, and on Sunday night, check your account and notice what you kept. That's it. 1 weekend. No spreadsheet, no guilt. Quick reminder before we wrap up. This video is for general education, not personal financial advice, so do what fits your own situation and your own budget. A no-spend weekend is a tool, and you get to decide how and when it serves you. Let's recap the 3 things to remember. 1. A no-spend weekend just means pausing optional spending for 2 days while still covering anything essential. 2. The magic is in preparing ahead. Meals, free fun, and apps logged out, so you're not fighting willpower in the moment. And 3. The real prize isn't only the money you keep, it's finally seeing your own spending patterns clearly so you can change them on purpose. If this helped, go ahead and give it a like. It genuinely helps other beginners find the channel. And subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson, where we keep turning tricky money topics into simple, doable steps. Try one no-spend weekend, see what you learn about yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and take care of your money.